trainer. Trey Clark knows the most common dog behavior problems and, of course, the solutions. That's the most important part. He's also agreed to answer your questions this morning. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Well, thanks for having me.
So you're trying to make sure that our dogs are better citizens, right? We want to tell everyone you can text right now if you have a question, you have a troubled pet, like mine. No, 832-650-6245 is the number that you can text right now. We'll answer your questions, at least try to, live right now. So tell us the difference between how in the world is a musician turned pet trainer and you fit it all in together somehow.
Well, I've always worked with dogs, and over the years I would take people's dogs home with me, but just, I'd say, give me your dog for a week, and then I'd return them, and then the dog would be, this was years ago, the dog would be behaving. And I was a traveling musician for years, and I decided I wanted my children to know what I looked like.
Sure, very
decided,
good.
all right, I'm at a crossroads. What am I good at, and what do I love doing? And I thought, dogs.
Well, this baby is so well behaved, I have to say. So you do something a little different here. This is not a scheduled training where they're in a kennel situation. They're basically living with you as like a temporary family dog.
Right. It's kind of like fostering, but with very strict, with a goal in mind of fixing behaviors. As far as, counter surfing, jumping up on people, they live with me as my dog. They can sleep in the bed, they can hang out on the couch and cuddle and watch a movie, and they're socialized with dogs that are already trained by me.
And then I'm sure you have to work with the owner as well, because if they let those behaviors continue, or if they're not doing your training method, they're probably going to fall back to their old habits.
Well, I probably work with the owners as much, if not more, than the dogs, and they get constant, and that's one of the other things that's a little different, is they get constant videos, daily videos, not just how-to videos of a stranger teaching another dog how to do something. It's your dog behaving the way you want them to behave in a home setting.
How are our questions?
Oh my gosh, we are getting so many questions for you. We're going to have to do a Facebook Live. Okay, so the basic one is, how do I get my dog to sit? That one's coming up.
I prefer hand signals for several reasons. Come on, girl. Get up. So what you can do, an easy way to start, and I don't use treats at the end, but you can start with this. If dogs naturally sit when they have to look up,
okay,
they just kind of go back. Am I still okay?
Yeah.
They naturally do that, and you just do it every time. And every time they come up to you, if you just kind of raise your hand up, they'll get to where it comes very naturally to it.
Okay.
So you don't even have to say anything. Sit over and over.
But one of the reasons I don't use voice commands is because naturally there's a natural progression that can be frustrating. In other words, if I were to say, brown dog, sit, then they don't do it. The next thing that happens is, brown dog, sit. You raise your energy level, and it's not good energy, and then they're sitting there hearing their name and a command. It's like, am I in trouble or whatever? And then the third one is like, sit, and the energy kind of changes. So a hand signal is just a real benign way to.
Now, several people are asking, how do they stop the barking in different situations here?
The barking is a tough one because it depends on what it is. If it's a nervous barking.
Let's say it's a squirrel outside the backyard.
Lord, yes.
That's what my dog
I would be making many millions of dollars if I could
do that. Yes,
a dog not to bark at a squirrel. But a lot of it is leash training. The leash is your friend. I use the leashes inside the house, outside the house. And that's one of the reasons why me being there 24/7 with the dogs, if they're having trouble barking, fence fighting, barking at other dogs, or just barking for the sake of being bored, I use the leash for a correction. And I'm there. Sometimes it takes 2-3 hours, and then hear them barking again.
So it's just a little pop of the leash.
Yeah.
What you do with your hand?
Yeah. One thing you don't want to do is play tug of war with a dog when you're on the leash, like this. You don't want that at all, because they like that pull. Everything's just a kind of a
real quick leash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just
Look at this.
And everything's just a reset. And once you get them to this, like if a dog's walking by and they start going nuts, you don't want to get into this tug of war thing that you find yourself in, where the dog's walking you. You just get them into this, and the more slack you can have on the leash at all times when you're walking, like if I can go, come here, come on, I'm on TV. But you want the slack on the leash rather than this kind of tension. This tension is what you want to avoid.
Well, I tell you what, we're getting so many questions. Are you available after the show? So we go off air in about 10 minutes. Can we take you on Facebook Live and get some of these questions answered for you?